This is Josiah Plays Pillars of Eternity. We are here in Terra Everon. We see the constellations of the gods. Each of the gods. Except for Aothus, he does not get one. Presumably because he's dead. And for some reason, Woodikas and Walls don't light up with a name when I press tab. All the other ones do, but that's Woodikas, that's Walls, and the others are all labeled, as you can see. We need to go to these 4 lit-up shrine thingies and talk to each one in turn to let these gods know that I did the thing they wanted. So we're going to do that now. Here's the first one. You stand once more before the shrine of Helia. The stars of her constellation seem to glitter all the brighter. I will pray to Helia. You know why? Because you got to pray just to make it today. That's why we pray. You kneel. While you pray, you feel the space around your body shift and melt, and you find yourself in a vision of the mountaintop temple, where I fought a dragon, by the way. Yet you see neither worshippers nor a dragon, but a tree. Its limbs wrap around the perimeter of the temple, tapering into twigs and branches of all sizes and angles. They seem too long and too numerous to be held up by the meager trunk, but they hold steady in the breeze. A single sparrow lands on the nearest branch. It watches you. Throw a rock at the sparrow? That would be the worst idea ever. This is the goddess of birds. If you threw a rock at the sparrow, you would not get her favor. Let's try whistling to the bird. My dad can do some really good, like, bird-sounding whistles. He's a good whistler, but I can't really do it. Eat the sparrow. I want to steal its power! You whistle the first tune that pops into your head. The sparrow blinks its beady eyes and hops closer to you along the branch. It bobs its tiny head and opens its beak, and the rich, trilling melody that spells forth is the song of a chorus of birds. This bird has eaten a shitload of other birds. It's like the ultimate bird cannibal. This is like the Hannibal Lecter of birds, and therefore it can sing with all of their voices. Hannibal Beekter. I'll bet a better like pun on Hannibal Lecter and bird stuff could be come up with. I'm just not going to devote the brain power to it at the moment. A massive flock descends with a thundering of wings and whooping, screeching, chirping calls. They fill the boughs of the tree by the thousands, birds of every shape, size, and color nestling next to one another. Palagina sighs heavily. To be honest, I really can't stand birds. Which is funny because she's a bird godlike. She's got feathers and shit on her face. A breeze ripples through the air. The limbs sway, creaking with a strange, gentle rhythm. A few hundred of the birds flit from their branches, forming a brilliantly variegated flock in front of the tree. As they meet and swoop in unison, you catch a glimpse of someone looking back at you, cloaked by the flurry of feathers. Watcher, I believe we stand in the legendary Court of Birds. She closes her eyes and raises her face to the sky. I feel a presence, warmth, and hope.
You journeyed to my temple and rid it of the dragon. Now my faithful may return, singing their joy to the skies and praising me through their creation.
We're actually talking to Helia, wow. The fluttering wind carries a voice, gentle and soft. Number 3! I just wanted to kill a dragon. Seraphina would clearly choose number 1. That's the one I'm most inclined to choose, like, as a player, and as my original character, she would clearly choose number 1. But Katie is a fucking barbarian. She's not, I mean, she's not literally a barbarian class, she's a rogue, but I mean, character concept, she's a barbarian. So, she wouldn't say that. I feel like the most diplomatic thing to say is number 1, but I gotta keep it RP, yo. I gotta keep it RP legit. So, I'm just gonna say number 3. I just wanted to kill a dragon.
You thirst for blood and glory, then. Yet even your passion for violence and death can be channeled to protect life. I would have you face an even greater foe.
The breeze turns unexpectedly cold. The wind becomes a soft sigh in your ear. The great flock wheels around the temple. I'm listening. The birds return to the tree and nestle amongst their peers. The breeze ripples through the branches again, carrying the goddess's voice.
You must stop Theos, and you must undo the tragedy he has wrought.
That's great, we're on the same page. That's literally what I'm trying to do. That's why I came to you for help. I love it when you go to somebody like to help you with the thing, and then they're like, I need you to do the thing. And they're like, that's the thing I was already doing. That's really convenient for me. Alright, cool. So, yeah, you got it. Let's get on with the blessing me or whatever. The grieving mother rocks on her feet. There is a way, Watcher. There is hope yet. Birds all over the tree begin to chirp and sing, and in the rise and fall of their voices, Helia speaks. Theos acts, but is moved by another. The exiled queen whispers in his ear, urges him to rob the living and the unborn of their souls for her benefit. Oh, he's working for Wudika. Which makes sense. Everything we learned about his little cult seemed to be like Wudika kind of stuff. And I think the one group of them was even in the old ruined temple of Wudika. So I guess we already knew this. But I think it's being spelled out for us more explicitly right here than ever before. Urges him to rob the living and the unborn of their souls for her benefit. And he has obeyed. So is he trying to bring her back and restore her to power? With the power of all these souls or something? I guess that would make sense. A hawk shifts on its perch. She will consume them, grow powerful while 1,000 empty children are born. But there is still time to reverse this tragedy. I mean, number 4 for real, though. If you're a god, why do you need me to do this shit? Why do gods never do anything for themselves? Gods must be lazy as fuck, because in every game, gods are always like, need you to do this shit for me, need you to do this shit for me. Like, if you're a god, just, like, wave your hand and have it be done. Alright, what do I want to do here? Couldn't you stop Theos on your own? All of the gods, even Wudika, are bound by an oath. We sing one harmony, and Kith sing another. And though we may introduce a new melody in hopes that mortal ears will hear it and sing it back, we do not interrupt their chorus. To do so would unleash a cacophony between the gods, one that would overwhelm our song and yours. Honestly, but it kind of seems like a loophole to me. So you're saying we basically have a rule, don't fuck with the mortals, don't interfere with what they're doing. But when you task mortals to do specific things and like help them do it in some way, you're kind of interfering. You're just doing it through like a proxy. It seems kind of like a loophole-y sort of thing to me. I'm just saying. I'm not sure this is completely legit. But whatever. I'm gonna do it because I have a quest. The breeze whips leaves around your ankles while the birds coo. But Wudika sings her tune to Theos. I would likewise sing mine to you. Oh, so Wudika's basically getting, power from... Or Theos is getting power from Wudika, and now she's saying, I give some power to you, so you can oppose him. I'm with that. Why would Wudika do this? A pair of eagles shriek. Ah! It sounded nothing like an eagle's shriek. Nothing whatsoever. Because she prizes authority over mercy. Laws over Kith.
She values the souls of mortals not for the beauty they create, but for what they can add to her power.
The wind blows cold.
She fears animancy. She believes that mortals may use it to usurp the god's power. Her power. She cares nothing for the innovation of Kith. And how could she? She gives commands, not inspiration.
Yeah, she sounds like a shitty god, to be honest. Maybe not as shitty as crazy Andra, but still, she sounds like a pain in the ass. So, animancy truly is that powerful. Kana looks thoughtful. I've always respected the commands of our Ranganui and the Keepers, but that is because they inspire respect. Between command and inspiration lies progress. Thanks, Kana. Nobody asked you, buddy, but go ahead and pipe up with your random thoughts anytime you want there, pal. It's fine. It sounds like Deos has collaborated with her for a long time.
You know already that he has lived many lives. In each, it has been her voice in his ear, guiding him to serve her ambitions, urging him to protect her interests.
The melody of the birds grows mournful.
And each of his lives has been one stanza after another in a song of devotion to the Oathbinder.
You're really taking it to the hoop with this whole musical metaphors, aren't you, Helia? Like, you were dedicated. Everything's got to be something about music. All right. How could I return things to the way they were? The birds suddenly fall silent, watching you. The voice on the wind returns.
Guide the trapped souls back to the bodies they were stolen from. Hollow-born children whose eyes have never seen the sun.
All right. And how the fuck do I do that? The grieving mother clasps her hands together, and the chimes toll like funeral bells.
Would it truly be mercy, even while it might dry the tears of parents, mothers and fathers who tended their children, sheltered them? It would confine children to half-grown bodies their souls have never known, bodies ravaged by years of confinement, the cruel salvation, worse.
She has a point there. She has a good point. And what is your retort, Helia?
You could restore them, give their families hymns of joy after years of lament.
The breeze tickles your ear.
Peace and restoration give purpose to suffering. There is no meaning, no redemption in pain that does not lead to fulfillment.
I don't know that I agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Symmetry demands that great rejoicing follow suffering such as this.
In my opinion, the world does not contain such symmetry. Such symmetry is a ridiculous idea. There is way more suffering than there is rejoicing. That's just how it works. In my opinion. What do I want to say here? Perhaps it would be better to allow these souls to find new lives.
Would that we could heal their souls, their scars, as well. Their years of suffering cannot be undone, and may weigh heavily on their lives. Yes, this is the difficult mercy. How can they continue to another when they have not fully lived this life? To pass them along to another now is cutting a stanza from a poem, a verse from a song.
Yeah, but if the current stanza is fucked up, maybe it's better to just get on to the next good stanza, if you know what I'm saying. Once you're already in a train wreck, trying to fix it is just, yeah, you know, just move on, is all I'm saying. Seems better. I'm not sure that it's possible to truly undo the harm Theos has caused. You hear the cry of a swift, Soft and... Oh, swift? Is that a type of bird? Must be. You hear the cry of a swift, soft and plaintive.
Perhaps the years cannot be forgotten, and for some, perhaps it is already too late. But if you could restore even one soul, kindle one spark of life, raise one voice in joy, it would be worth it.
Yeah, I guess.
Thank you, Helia. I will continue to Sun and Shadow.
You still didn't tell me how I'm supposed to send all the souls back to whatever or whatever. Like, I could really use, like, a tutorial on that, please.
When you reach the Burial Isle, you will find souls there that I have granted reprieve for their sins. I give these to you, for only they can bear you to safety on your journey down. And when you face Theos and the rotting fruits of his endeavors, remember the conversation we have had. In that moment you will have power rivaling a god's. And after it, you will live in the world that you have chosen.
Sounds intense. Alright, good times.
Choose Restoration, Watcher. Return the souls to the bodies they were stolen from. Swear to me that you will do this, and I shall give you power to make even Woodica quake. I can be merciful and terrible, Watcher.
Swear to me that you will do this. That does not sound my speed. I'd like to make the decision at the time, especially I want to hear what the other three gods have to say, because I have a feeling every one of them is going to ask me to do a different thing with these fucking souls, and I'm going to have to decide who I want to side with, and I don't know if I want it to be you. Maybe. I mean, it probably won't be Rimmergond. That guy's no good. Who are the other ones? I already forgot. Bareth. It could be Bareth. Bareth seems pretty legit. And, who was the other one that I did a mission for? Galawain. Oh, probably won't be Galawain. He's kind of a mean person. Kind of a mean person. Okay. Great wings, dark against the sun, unfold behind the tree, casting a blinding shadow across the temple for the briefest of moments. So, I don't know about this swear to me that I will do this thing. I'm not feeling a whole lot of swearing right now.
Well, this is the hope I once held to. I now see it as a false mercy, an extension of suffering. Snatching these souls from their lives was Theos' crime. Let us not add to it by snatching them from their natural cycles.
See, I agree with Grieving Mother, and plus I also find, I feel like she knows what the fuck she's talking about when it comes to this sort of thing. This is kind of her area of expertise. And she has more of the kind of compassion that a mortal would have for other mortals versus the detached kind of higher level viewpoint of a god who might not really have the kind of compassion for mortals that a mortal would have. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking this, but I like this kind of philosophical stuff in games, and I like to think about it a lot. Maybe more so than is exactly intended by the content itself. I don't know. What do I want to say here? Oh, good. Number three. I would hear what the other gods have to say first. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Wait. I'm not done with you.
Ooh, Pallegina wants to have a chit-chat. Pallegina steps forward inside the flock of birds. Birds wheel and pivot, showing a flash of pale feathers.
Who is this that speaks in anger?
I'm on Team Pallegina. Let's back her up.
You owe Pallegina some answers.
There is a pause as the birds settle on the branches and regard Pallegina. I mean, that takes some stones to tell a god that they owe somebody something.
Questions flutter and circle in her mind. Let her ask what she will.
It's not often that any of our kind get the chance to speak to their... What should I call you? My mother? Father? Those words seem to fall short and yet be too generous, given our history.
This is cool. The birds cock their heads, craning and twisting their necks to look at one another.
You are angry with me.
What did you expect? Should I be happy? To be like this? To live like this? What kind of creator does this to her creation and abandons it in a world this cruel?
She's got you on the ropes there. What are you going to say to that, Hylia? Or Helia?
And should I have plucked you from your home, wrapped you in my wings, and brought you to a nest like this one? Some tranquil and harmonious place far from the war chants and battle dances you love so well.
A hawk shivers, ruffling its feathers.
Tell me what you want.
All I've ever wanted from any of your kind is to take some responsibility. Any responsibility for what you've done. To us. To every one of the children you've abandoned.
Dude, Pallegina is straight up speaking truth to power right now. She gives a fuck who's a god and who isn't. The birds flap their wings, rising from the branches.
You are a song of ferocity, and one I love well. I hear your furor and rage, and it is music.
Everything's fucking music to you.
Your prowess and valor leave a trail like a tapestry upon the world. I would not dampen your song, even with the comfort of my wings.
What does that mean? Come back here!
Pallegina shouts angrily into the retreating flock of birds. There is no response. Pallegina's fist clenched in frustration. Huh. Well, obviously Seraphina would say number 1, but I'm not playing Seraphina, so I'm afraid I have to go the stoic route and say nothing. I feel like I have nothing I can really say in the face of what just happened.
I should have known I'd never get any answers out of her.
Exasperated, she throws up her hands. Apparently she's done. Well, you can still hang out and smash the shit out of stuff with a giant hammer in my group. That's all the answer you need. Wait, what? Oh, petition yeah. Helia may be willing to grant me a favor in return for my aid. I can pray to her at Tir Evron. Alright, so I have to, like, make her the promise in order to... And I have a feeling I'm only going to be able to make the promise to one god. Because obviously, you know, you're not going to be able to trick the gods and, like... Okay. Oh, Aloth finished his little mission. It took Aloth more than 3 attempts to contact the Glamfellan of the White That Wends without being attacked. When Amaya was finally able to speak with the elders, she wrote down their stories about where the Glamfellan had come from, how they had arrived at the bottom of the world so long ago. Getting access to the sacred Adra sepulchre of the Adira emperors, the Inna Cithria, Inagata Davida, baby, involved more than a little trickery. Even though Amaya was only able to speak with the spirits of the dead emperors for a few minutes, it was enough to complete that portion of her research. The wise ones of Erglonfoth, the Riau, entertained Amaya's requests, but they questioned her for days to ensure that she would not share their sacred secrets, nor portray their people in a bad light. The Riau passed on their stories of the early days of Erglonfoth, how they had arrived there, and how they had received their instructions to guard the Ingwithan ruins for all time. Satisfied that her research was complete, Amaya returned to Rauatai to pen her final chapters and have them copied by her scribes. Though it will be several years until any complete copies emerge, she gifted Aloth with a condensed codex of her essential work, including a large number of spells that had been enchanted into the last few pages. Oh, a nice grimoire. Cool. If I had Aloth in my party, he would probably love to use that, but as it is, he's gonna sit in the fucking keep and wait for another side mission. Oh, the Trials of Durance. This hasn't updated in a long time. Talk to Durance about Woudica. Oh, I bet having Durance in the party during that little conversation would have been really cool. He probably would have said some cool shit. Learning that Woudica is responsible for Widewind's legacy leaves many questions about the circumstances of the Saints' War and the destruction of Aethys. Durance may have further insight. Oh, wow, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, that's huge, actually. This whole time, we thought Widewind's legacy, with the Hollowborn and all that, was because of the killing of Aethys. Or the killing of Saint Widewind, you know, as Aethys. Finding out that that's not what caused it, and now we know that Woudica herself is responsible for it through Theos, that's actually a huge revelation. Like, everyone in the world would want to know that, or everybody in this part of the world, anyway. That's like mind-blown sort of thing right there. Council of Stars updated. So mean to Aloth. Hey, I always let him go on all the missions. Descend the pit in the Burial Isle to Breath Aemon. Now that I have divine favor, I can travel to the Burial Isle and pursue Theos. It seems, however, that the gods are willing to offer great power in exchange for a promise to deal with the stolen souls in the manner of their choosing. There would, however, be a price for betrayal. I've learned that the Burial Isle can be reached from Old Song. Yeah, okay. So that's one of the gods we've dealt with. There's 3 more. And we know... We're gonna have to tell one of them that we're on their team. As far as what to do with the souls. But we don't know what the other 3 are gonna want us to do. I'm guessing... Bareth is just gonna be like, return them to the cycle. That's definitely what Bareth is gonna say. Return them to the cycle, let them reincarnate, as usual. Rimmergon's gonna be like, let's have these fucking souls descend into entropy and be destroyed. That'd be the way forward. Galawain, I don't know what Galawain would want. Galawain's the one that's a mystery to me. The other 2 seem fairly obvious in their relationship to souls and life and death, because they're the 2 gods that are about death. But I don't know what Galawain's going to want me to do. Let's go to Galawain next. Wait, I just saved, right? What happens if I click on this again? And I pray to... Oh yeah, I just come back to here. And I have to decide... Alright. Okay, good. Let's chat up our pal Galawain here. The wolf god, the god of the hunt. The hunt, assassins, pursuit, wilderness, and predatory creatures. Favors the survival of the strong and the culling of the weak. And I called him not a nice person. I mean, he doesn't sound like a nice person, does he? You stand once again before the shrine of Galawain and the Hound's Head constellation which marks the pedestal. From time to time you hear a low rumbling sound like a growl. I'll pray to Galawain. You kneel, prepared for the shift this time. The cool stone gives way to warm soil, soft and loamy. The candle smoke dissipates, replaced by the musk of the forest. The hound howls from the foliage. I will howl back, like I did last time. Something leaps from the bushes nearby. You find yourself pinned on your back and staring into the amber eyes of a massive hound. The beast looks at you. Gleaming fangs protrude from the sides of its mouth. Its nose twitches as it inhales your scent, starting at your shoulder and proceeding down the length of your arm. You follow its nose to your hand, which is covered in blood. A tongue as red and meaty as a steak lolls out of its mouth and swipes your bloody hand. Its lips curl into what looks like a smile. The beast looks back at you, and as it fixes you with its glowing eyes, its muzzle retreats into a long, bearded face, and its pointed ears lengthen, dropping to the sides of its head. Oh, did it just turn into an Orlan? What was a massive hound becomes a giant of a man, his broad, muscled shoulders draped with furs. I guess not. He holds a flint knife to your neck and grins, revealing a row of long, pointed teeth. That's one way to make an introduction, I suppose.
The lioness reigns still, and soon her cubs will rise. Why did you strike the bear down?
His voice is a growling whisper. I don't know, I just liked the lioness more. Let's see. What answer will he like the best? Lioness found an advantage and held it. Cunning made her the most deserving. Soul's cubs would be mightier still. The legacy must be protected even from a worthy contender. No, he won't like that. If Wernos could not seize his victory, he did not deserve it. That's probably the one he likes the most. Number 3. But I'm thinking I'm going to say number 1, though, because I think it fits my character the most. Basically, the lioness was a rogue like me. It's all about that cunning. Alright. The lioness had found an advantage and held it. Her cunning made her the more deserving champion.
Strength begets strength. The mighty seize an advantage in their jaws and do not let go. They shake and wring it, puncture its arteries with sharpened fangs. Blood whets their appetite.
Right. I think this guy's listened to Metallica's song of Wolf and Man one too many times. The changeling throws his head back and closes his eyes, breathing deeply of the cool air. He lets out a howl that rings through the air. He lowers his head, puffs of steam rising from his panting mouth. Twigs crunch and branches snap. The ground shivers under the weight of pacing, prowling footsteps. A dozen beasts, bears, wolves, and long-fanged cats, stalk out of the undergrowth, their matching amber eyes fast on you. Changeable fellow, isn't he? Kana turns to watch the gathering beasts. This is why I prefer fishing. As the beasts encircle you, their master rises to his feet. Even the largest of the bears can only reach his browned and muscle-knotted shoulders. You stand, mindful of the ring of predators surrounding you.
You sought and won the favor of Galawain. What new prey do you now pursue?
I hunt Theos.
To track a quarry, you must understand its movements. And Theos follows the path of a more powerful master.
Galawain, the changeling, bares his sharpened teeth again. A warm breeze carries the smell of smoke and gunpowder. Sparks ignite and float in the draft. Oh my god, Magron just rolling up in here. Sparks ignite and... I just realized it says Magron at the beginning of this. Once again, sparks ignite and float in the draft, catching in the leaves over Galawain's head. A sudden blast of heat scalds your face, and even as you turn away, a flash of light sears your vision through your eyelids. Oh man, I wish I had Durance with me right now. He would have amazing stuff to say right now if I had him. When you look back, you see a woman in full plate standing next to Galawain. Her mirror-polished armor flickers with images of reflected flames. You can't see her face, but her voice is strong and clear like the ringing of steel.
Let her know her foe.
Theos has trapped thousands of souls in sun and shadow like rabbits in a snare. Now, he goes there to retrieve the kill for his master Woodica.
One of the bears paws at the ground in irritation, its hackles rising.
She will feast on them, suck their marrow, grow strong on their essence.
Yummy, yummy souls. The god closes his eyes and inhales deeply. As a Stelgare watches you, it licks its lips, its tongue scraping long fangs. Why would Theos help Woodica?
Because he is her hound. He has always done her bidding.
His eyes dart to another figure standing just behind Magron.
Woodica stands for an old order. So does Theos.
Her helm pivots sharply toward him. Oh, it's Abaddon. This is my homie right here. I don't know that he would necessarily call me his homie, but he's my homie. This is my ace deuce, Abaddon. A golem made of blackened pitted iron steps out of Magron's shadow. Its movements are slow yet precise, each footfall accompanied by the groaning and grinding of metal. The steady orange glow of furnace coals emanates from its eye sockets. In Abaddon's crude yet efficient form, you see an uncanny resemblance to the eyeless. Okay, check it out. That right there, that piece of text, would only be there if you had already done the White March and completed the White March Part 2. There's no way that was there in the original game without doing the expansion, because otherwise you'd have no idea what the eyeless were, and you never would have encountered the eyeless or even heard of them. So the game is taking into account the fact that I went and did the expansion before I did this. That's cool. Yet his limbs are more finely wrought, his joints more flexible. You also feel the essence of the eyeless teeming within him. That too, that wouldn't have happened unless I made the choice to tell the eyeless to go rejoin and be part of Abaddon again. So this is reflecting my choice right here. I was just wondering, as soon as Abaddon showed up on the scene, I was just wondering if it was going to take into account what had happened in the expansion, or if it just ignored that because this content is older. But they went back and put this in here for the post. That's so cool.
They both fear change, and the Deerwood has changed much recently. People find answers not in the gods, but in animancy, the product of their own labors.
A gear clicks within its jaw, and Abaddon speaks. Yeah, that's what we're getting. Woodica doesn't like this idea of humans or Kith, that's the mortal intelligent races, coming to power and like developing technologies and science and ways to answer their questions and solve their problems without having to rely on worshipping the gods. So she's really anti-progress, basically. And progress is really trying to roll on, and she's pissed about it.
And why not? When they have learned that even a god can be killed.
Reflected flames shiver in Magron's armor. She says that like it wasn't her followers that unleashed the God Hammer. You haven't done anything to stop Theos. I'm just gonna get lippy with the god here.
There is a pact. One Woodica herself has just barely kept. We gods must allow mortals to direct their own affairs.
This limit keeps peace between us.
So Woodica directs Theos, and he does her will.
Once again, kind of just a loophole there. You're already enacting your will, you're just doing it through a proxy. It's the same thing, basically. Okay, we're gonna let it go. Palagina sneers with contempt. Weaving through loopholes is in a divine... Oh my god, she's saying what I just said! Weaving through loopholes in a divine contract. I'm not surprised to hear that the gods are just as unethical as mortals when it suits them.
It is not our fight.
One wolf nips at another, and its fellow growls back. Animancy doesn't seem to trouble you. The three gods seem to look at one another. One of the wolves sits and scratches its neck with quick strokes of its hind leg.
The clash of ideas, the search for answers and meaning. These are other hunts.
Gallowayne shrugs his broad shoulders. Alright, so Gallowayne doesn't mind animancy. That's good to know.
This is the destiny of Kith, to struggle and transform, even through animancy.
Magron's pauldrons shift as she clasps her hands behind her back.
And to improve.
Steady labor and earnest industry elevate Kith above Wilder and Beast. It is also useful that they should learn to improve their souls, whether through struggle, transformation, or labor. On this, at least, we have no disagreement.
Abaddon's voice creaks and sighs. A scarred Stelgare growls and flicks its tail. It didn't like that line about the elevating above Wilder and Beast. Alright. Still my homie, Abaddon. We cool, we cool. You've only all of the gods' followers were as open-minded about animancy as you three. What should I do about it?
Track Theos. Follow the trail he has left for you, and corner him in sun and shadow.
Yeah, that was already the plan. Give me some more information.
You must stop him before he empowers Woodica.
Yep, already the plan.
And if you do, you will have a different decision to make.
Gears whir and clank as Abaddon gives you a slow nod. Yes, now, what do you guys want me to do for this decision? Because I already know what Helia wants me to do. Palagina narrows her eyes. She's had a lot to say in these god conversations. I'm glad I have her with me. You know who hasn't said shit? Devil of Karok, which doesn't surprise me because she's an expansion companion, which means she was added to the game after these conversations were written, but they could have gone back and added some stuff in. I wish I had Durance with me, though. It would have been really good to have Durance with me during this. Palagina narrows her eyes. Experience with superior officers tell me this decision has a right and wrong answer, as far as the lot of you are concerned. In other words, yes, they want something. Let's hear it.
Souls were ripped from the world, ripe and full and pulsing with essence. Scatter them like bones to a pack of dogs. Their essence will strengthen the souls of the Deerwood. Let the remains of the dead feed the survivors. Okay, I didn't see that coming. One of the wolves slavers, baring its teeth in a wide grin. Alright, so I'm getting this. Now I understand what they're all going to want, right? Helia wants me to return the souls to their original bodies. To the Hollowborn children that were born without their souls or whatever. Gallowayne wants me to take all that soul and energy and just sort of distribute it amongst everybody else to make them more powerful. And, you know, fuck the original bodies. Bareth is going to want me to return them to the cycle and let them reincarnate, and Rimmergon is going to want me to destroy them. Or, you know, whatever, let them go to the void or whatever. So, that's going to probably be my choice between those four things. Let's ask him some more questions here. Why would I feed the lost soul's essence to the rest of the Deerwood? To breed strength. Power is born from the mixing of essence and blood.
The wolves snarl and snap.
What Theos did cannot be undone. Thousands of lives have changed, and thousands more have ended because of his actions. But transformation gives purpose to trial.
A plume of flame ripples across her breastplate. This isn't sounding that bad. I may do this. It's possible.
And improvement is the goal of all Kith. Long lives, prosperous futures, stronger minds and bodies. Strengthening those who remain will help repair the damage that Theos has done to the Deerwood.
I thought you served the cause of preservation, Abaddon. That has to be a line that was only added after doing the White March also, because you only learned that as part of the thing at the end with the Eyeless.
Essence cannot remain in a dead body, any more than oil in a broken jar. Even though the stolen lives cannot be preserved, their essence can be used to ensure the survival of the Deerwooden remnant.
Okay.
Thus, the memory and vision of the lost may live beyond them. This is the nature of preservation.
I don't want to say number 3 or 4. I'm going to go right to number 5. Now I've got to find Theos.
And when you descend the pit to Sun in Shadow, you can count on our assistance to see you safely through. As I hope we can count on yours when you reach the bottom. There are many souls upon the Burial Isle that are sworn to serve us. They belong to you now, and they shall guide your descent.
Magron steps closer, her brilliant armor ringing with each movement. Alright. Pallegina snorts and advances toward Magron. Man, she cannot help herself. She has to get sassy with every fucking god. She's still pissed about how things went with Helia, so she's gonna take it out on Magron now. I've danced to this tune before. You'll count on us to deal with whatever's down there, and we can count on you to take credit for it later. The beasts grow restless, pawing the ground and eyeing you with renewed interest. The bear sniffs at the ground next to your leg. One Stelgare skulks into the circle, its amber eyes glowing. Galawain hurls his knife between your feet, sinking it to its handle. He raises his empty hand.
Hunt him, mortal. And when you stop him, let the souls he has captured feed the deerwood.
Strengthen the souls of those who remain. Prepare them to face the challenges that will follow. Pledge that you will do this, and we will grant you a power fit for the finest warrior who ever lived.
Well, that part sounds good.
Betray us, and my beasts shall track you down. Our allegiance is not to be accepted and cast aside.
So I'm not going to pledge anything yet. I'm going to hear what the other gods have to say first. I would hear what the other gods have to say first.
Consider and calculate, but decide.
Galawain's hand falls, and the growling pack lunges into the circle. The vision vanishes in an instant, returning you to Eter Evron, where burning candles replace the glowing eyes of Galawain's beasts. So this one is completed. I've resolved the stalemate between the beasts. I may now receive my blessing from the Seeker God himself. Alright, well that's 2 of them considered. I mean, I want to go with this one kind of because I like Abaddon a lot, and I kind of want to go with Team Abaddon, but I don't know. Something about it seems a little bit wrong. I mean, you're taking the souls of other people and just like, I don't know, like reusing them for other people, but what about the original people? I mean, don't they deserve to have their souls, you know, for themselves or whatever? Just saying. Seems kind of cold. Alright, let's go to Rimergon next. Let's go to Rimergon next. As I crunch some ice into the microphone. Okay. Here we go. Once more you approach the shrine, and the constellation of the Beast of Winter. This time, the cold emanating from the shrine is unmistakable. A thin frost has formed upon the edges of the stone. We pray to Rimergond. You pray again, and the vision of the white plain emerges. The driving wind returns in a chaos of swirling snow. Something moves at the center of the blizzard, plodding but relentless. As the snowstorm gets closer, you see an aurochs, as colossal and slow as a glacier. Its shaggy white hair is matted with frost, but beneath it, ribs like a ship's frame protrude. The Beast of Winter! I've seen its shape prowling the halls of many an ancient ruin! Oh, Skane's here with him. I am not on Team Skane. This dude's crazy as fuck. A man, emaciated and almost naked, huddles at the beast's legs. His body is scored with lash marks, and his nose and ears have been carved from his face. His black eyes pierce the whiteout. The auroch stops and stands before you, enveloping you in the violent blizzard that surrounds it. Though its mouth does not move, the beast speaks in a deep, thunderous voice.
A clan of Glamfelin ventured from the White That Wends to find the crack in the ice. When you sealed it, you damned their souls to a slow weathering here, one they had sought to escape.
Yeah, sorry. This is what your vision directed. That's basically, number 3 is basically like saying, I had a quest, dude. I had a quest. I had to do it. I had a quest. This was what your vision directed.
A fitting reply from an obedient servant. No guile with you, indeed.
Fuck yourself, Skane. Remember when I killed a whole fuckload of your worshippers and, like, wiped out a whole temple of you? Remember that? That was fun. Yeah. And then I took all the fucking holy vestments of your priests and stuff, and I just took them to some, like, merchant and sold them. Yeah. So, that's what I think about you, Skane. The scarred man rubs his hands together and nods, simpering and craven.
For each there is a season watcher. Winter's shroud covers all things in its time. The heat and energy of life dissipates, and untethered essence fades into chaos. But entropy is a chisel of ice and a hammer of wind. It is not for mortals to wield these tools.
Okay. Right. So what's your point? Oh, Andra's here. This is team fucking crazy right here. This is Crazy Town. Skane and Andra on this together again for the first time. Like, fuck. This is like being back in the fucking mental hospital with these gods. We already know how nuts Andra is. The world shudders beneath you, and a great crack echoes across the white expanse. The ice splits at your feet, waves lapping through the rift. A low, melancholy voice rises from the depths.
I did not expect we would meet again so soon. You destroyed the army that threatened your life.
Sweet, see? This is post-White March shit right here. Because I did the expansion first. Man, it's a really good idea to do the expansion before coming talk to these gods, because you get a whole different conversation. I love number 3. I'm just gonna threaten a god, like... You set me up to die. When I get done here, I'm gonna settle the score. You can count on it. Yeah, I'm getting loud with a god. I don't care.
I gave you the means to solve your problem. Be grateful I allowed you to survive the ordeal. You would not be here if you did not require our aid. What is it you seek?
We will answer this question in our next episode. That's going to do it for this one. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Pillars of Eternity.